Hey you guys, I'm working on some Christmas journal pages. I'm going on vacation day after tomorrow, and I have friends coming in town to stay with us before we go. So I wanted to get ahead on a few videos that can post while I'm gone. So this may turn into, I have 3 pages that I'm working on. I'm just not sure if that's going to be 3 videos or if I can get it in 2 videos. So let me show you my plan, and then we'll work on it. So it does not snow here. In fact, we are under a tornado watch right now, and there was a tornado warning on the north side of town and some actual tornadoes spotted. So there's very little chance of snow. They are saying maybe in January we might get some flurries. Who knows? So I'm going to use this paper while I can. And I went to see Derek Huff and his holiday show. So I love, this has a lot of blues in it and white. So I'm going to use this paper for that. I also, the day before that, had my hair done. So there were 2 events on that day, and that's why this may be 1 page. And then the Derek Huff show, a different page. So I had my hair done, so I have my before and after for my hair. And I think that I'm just going to put that in a little 4x6 pocket page, if I can find it. There we go. Just a 4x6 and do before and after, because it's the same day as this dinner party we went to, and there was a band that did sort of a mashup of Beatles and holiday music, which was pretty fun. So I'm going to do a page of that on, where is my album? So here's my album so far, my journal book. Never done one of these before. And I think that I'm going to, ooh, this one's cool. This has 2, didn't realize I had some of those. I think I may, it's either going to be in a full 6x8 sleeve or one of these 2 4x6 sleeves. I just want to check and see what all I have. Yeah, I still have lots of those. So those are my 2 options. Oops. Yeah. For these 2 pages. So this will be on the front and the Derek Huff will be on the back side. I just need to decide. I think I want the Derek Huff to be on a single page because I want to really emphasize this paper. So that means I will probably do this. I'm just making sure I'm not doing that too often in here. Nope. So I think it's okay to do this for, oh, no, I'm lying. This for that one. All right, decision made. That's how we're rolling. We're trying not to hem and haw too much. I do need more, a bigger piece of background paper for this. So I'm gonna work on that in a second. I'll probably come back to it. And let's start on this before and after. And since I'm going to use, I think, the top part of this, it doesn't matter which direction it goes in, but I'm going to use probably a 6x8 here with all of the things. So I have this part of the paper to use for this, probably for the before. Maybe I can do it for both the before and the after. So I'm going to cut this at 6 inches. So I decided to go ahead and speed up most of the rest of this video. Now, I liked this black for the front, especially I'm wearing a black drape and there's blue, a little bit of blue on this paper. I didn't have really blue in any of the holiday papers that I had. I am trimming it down a bit so it's not quite as big. Gives me space to mat it a little bit better. So I'm just checking the fit of that, and it's a little, it could go a little bit wider actually. So I'm going to mat the photo. Sorry about that, guys. I had to move rooms. My daughter's about to start clanking around a bunch of dishes while she cleans her multitude of Stanley cups. I said, don't you have enough Stanley cups? She goes, no, when they come out with a new color I need to get that I like, I have to get it. Crazy girl. So I wasn't sure what to do. I was thinking about calling this holiday hair or something like that, but I have this little cut apart card that says it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Well, I decided let's cut the individual ribbons, leaving some green on there. So I'm pulling in, greens and black and white, a little pop of red here and there I'll end up with. So on the front, I'm going to put it's beginning to look a lot like, and I'm going to add ... And then on the back, I'm going to put Christmas so that it leads you to that page kind of. I think that's kind of a fun way to do a before and after haircut. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, it looks a little bit plain and I wanted a little something else to it. So I thought about adding this green star paper, but the other side is a stripe and it has a little bit of red in it. So I think that's going to be the winner. So I am going to trim down the black card just a bit. I need to trim a little bit of the length, and then I'm going to trim the tiniest bit. This didn't feel straight, so I had to check everything. The tiniest bit off the width because it was already pretty much wide enough. And I'm going to cut this paper just over 4 inches wide, maybe about 4 1/8. But I wanted enough of this stripe to show to be an actual mat for it. And that just really spruces it up. It finishes it off. I didn't end up inking anything on this page. I could have. I don't know that it would have made a ton of difference since the paper is black. Found a green pen, close enough in the color. It's a little bit more minty, this paper. And then I decide I need to double mat the photo. So this is another, this is the back of that Vicki Boutin snowflake paper. And I'm just adding layers. You start out with the basic concept and then you start adding layers to it. I really wanted the Santa to fit on there. I couldn't make him fit. It's just not going to fit on top of a 3x4 photo on a 4x6 card. So that little card is from the Simple Stories paper pack, and I just wrote before on there. And then in the floral pack there were some green snowflakes on white, and I thought, well, that's kind of perfect since I'm probably not going to get snowflakes in this journal elsewhere. Might as well take advantage of it here. And it was actually chilly that day. Not anywhere near cold enough for snow, but it was chilly. So I'm going to rearrange a couple of these. I'm going to end up with 3 snowflakes on the card. The only unfortunate thing is it does end up hiding a lot of the snowflakes that are on the paper itself, but I'm okay with it. So I'm just trying to add a tiny bit of red in a couple places because I have that red and green and white striped as the mat. And then so I pulled out these little berries, which I thought were cute. Really, they probably are supposed to go under holly leaves, but I'm okay with it. And then I had this little wordy bit that says, I think it says joyful. So I did trim it down a little bit so it wasn't quite so long. And then I'm just playing around with the snowflakes. I used a big snowflake there. Then I can tuck a small one in. So now I have a triangle of snowflakes. We'll come back and look at this close up. I am going to add some glitter stickles to this at the end, but I can't do that and then flip it over to work on the back side. So in a lot of cases, because I know I'm never going to have to move these pages, they belong together, I can use the back of the paper for it. I had this glitter striped red and white paper, which I thought was pretty fun and glamorous since I was getting glamorous hair and I was already dressed for dinner with a red necklace on. So I'm trying to emphasize that a bit. Still can't fit that Santa. I just obscure him too much. It's not worth putting on there. Just playing around with the angles of things for this. And then I'm going to use some of the offcut from that cut apart. I end up changing this. It's too big. And I tried to write too big and it didn't look good. So that's going to get recut in just a minute. And I have a green poinsettia, which I thought was pretty. I'm just looking for other things. I really didn't purchase enough stuff for this journal album, but I do have stash and scraps that I'm trying to use. I won't use them up, but I am trying to make use of things to sort of limit the amount that I'm adding to my old stash, right? You want to use some stash instead of... I really like this, and I do need to journal just a bit. Probably about my hairdresser. I've only ever had one hairdresser in my life. I think my sister did my hair a couple times when I was in college. But right after college, I found my hairdresser, and we have grown up and had kids together and practically part of the family. So that's when I'm like, oh, that doesn't look good. It needs to be smaller, a little more petite. And then I have a little journal box to say that it was lucky that I had a hair appointment on the same day as an event. And I got to have good hair to go out with. Sometimes she does my hair and I'm just going home. And that's kind of a waste of a good hair day. All right, so I'm going to finish up. And I decide that since I'm looking a little glamorous, I'm going to pull out some of these adhesive brads from Echo Park and sort of glam that side up a bit. And then on this side, I'm going to just add some glitter stickles. And I was hoping to add it to the center of some snowflakes, but I've covered all the centers of the snowflakes. So I'm moving things around so that I can get to a couple of snowflakes. Just to add a little sparkle to the center. And then I'm just going to do 3 little dots down in the bottom corner. And then I'll give you a close-up very carefully so as not to smudge my glitter. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. I am keeping this page to 1 video. I've already done the next page, so the next video will be the evening out page. Thanks a lot.